BBTS again, posting on the actual listings for the latest wave of GI Joe figures, the classified ones, the Dio picks, which didn't seem to exist before today. So first time I've seen them. You may have seen them before that, I don't know, but I found that really odd and really crazy. So in any case, weird stuff happening, but they were kind of fun to look at, so we'll check those out. We'll have a look at those and talk about those. And there's been loads of other news as well, but I'm going to save a lot of it actually for the weekly, because there's the longboards, the ghost board, was it, like random longboards for GI Joe? We'll talk about that on the weekly. I'll save that for Saturday. But yeah, that's bonkers to me. And then new comic book day as well today, in that we've had issue 14, second part of the Dreadnought War. Really excited to get into that one. Can't wait. That'll be my next port of call as soon as this episode is done, is to read that comic. And while I'm on full screen, I just want to shout out, I know shout outs usually at the end, but I just want to make a big shout out to the wonderful Patch Sar. Okay, full screen, there you go. There's a QR code if you want to scan it. Anyway, Patch Sar very, very kindly sent me a little package, Kitty said. And I think I called this out on the weekly, the last weekly episode, as a shout out. But he made these wonderful Full Force logo patches, beautiful patches. Here's one full color. Isn't that lovely? The old Full Force logo on there. Shout out to Brian Sauer for that design. And these two little beauties, ever so slightly different. So we've got sort of like one with black stripes and one with green stripes. Can you see that? Isn't that amazing? So massive thank you to Patch Sar for sending me those patches. Just to say thanks for what, I don't know, but thank you so much, Patch Sar, and yeah, love them. It just gives me ideas on what to do for patrons, isn't it, most of the time? Now, that said, we've got some news to get into, and we are 6 minutes in, and I know people are going, could you just talk about news and that? So I will do that. But anyway, let's get into it. Lots to cover, and we'll start with Big Bad Workshop. Almost didn't make that in time, but I did, so it's all good. Jeremy Kimberlin says awesome patches. I'm going to shout out you as well, Jeremy Kimberlin, in a little while. I'll save you to the end, so you got that shout out to look forward to. I figured Patch Sar would be good on the full screen, so you could really see the detail. Your little Prezi I will talk about at the end, though. But yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy, and thank you very much, Patch Sar. Now, Big Bad Workshop, aka the sort of toy arm, the toy creation arm of Big Bad Toy Store. Now they have posted from the Big Bad Workshop production vault. Here's a closer look at a couple of the latest samples from the Order of the Crimson Moon, and we've got the Legionnaire, and we've got, is it Count Iron Moon? Amazing. But yeah, obviously posted these images on the socials, and you can see there's a similar kind of resemblance, and I believe these are the ones where if you switch the heads, it sort of makes even more sense from a Baron Ironblood Black Major kind of situation. In any case, that helmet looks amazing, by the way. It looks so good. So I'm really into these. I think they look fantastic. And these might have to be somehow purchased. But yeah, you've got the basically Order of the Crimson Moon, which is a sort of take on the Palatoy Red Shadows sort of vibe. So you've got again, like I said, you've got that sort of Black Major character, you've got the Baron Ironblood sort of character design, but they've kind of switched the heads around, so you get to kind of like move them around. And yeah, you've got zombie werewolves, you've got like a sort of like interesting sort of, I want to say it's kind of like a Red Firefly meets Storm Shadow meets Destro sort of vibe going on as well, because of the collar and everything, like Red Jackal, I should say. And of course the Hooded Cobra Commander sort of head in that sort of wave of figures as well. So really like what they're doing, honestly, with these. Really cool way of getting some characters that we might not see in the future. I'm not sure if this prevents us from seeing like Baron Ironblood in the future. That's an interesting grey area to talk about, isn't it? But yeah, in this particular case, I think you could get away with doing your standard, kind of classified versions, should we say, of these characters. And of course, you've got, Skeletron doing some really cool updated 6-inch kind of designs and 4-inch designs and 3 3/4 technically with O-ring. All the scales really for Skeletron. In regards to what they're doing with with their Red Shadows kind of situation. So anyway, in any case, I was kind of excited for these because I saw the grey models and I was like, oh, they look so good, and I love that Baron Ironblood helmet thing. It's phenomenal. Scott says you need 3 figures to recreate Ironblood: Baron Ironmoon for the body, Major Noir for the head, and the Legionnaire for the helmet. Interesting. That's a great way of getting it hooked in. I thought it was just 2 figures, but yeah, you're talking about the Tom Selleck head that has to go underneath as well, aren't you? Which, it's cheeky, but it's also, making it so that you're not technically putting something out that is exactly a copy. I kind of get where they're going with that. But honestly, as well, I would say, Squishy says we're only 2:30 in. Seems like we missed the first couple of minutes on YouTube. Interesting. Maybe the kind of like notification didn't go out or something. Maybe it was that, because I had 0 people watching for like 3 minutes or whatever, which isn't, it's not. I'm not saying that that's not possible. We ain't talking. We're not a big channel here, so I totally understand that. Luke says, I have to do overtime at work this evening. Thank you to the Full Force for keeping me company for the next hour and the rest. We've got loads to talk about, and I am dragging my butt, aren't I? Luke, having to work overtime fighting crime? Fighting crime? Are you a secret raider who will neutralize as soon as they arrive? Let me know in the comments. Andrew Law said, I went to walk the dog. Is that why you were late coming in, Andrew? Not a problem. You can do that. Funnily enough, I walked my little pup before I started the channel. The channel? The show? The channel? No, the channel was started years ago. Anyway, that's Big Bad Workshop. Now, let's have an explosion and seamlessly move into the next news item, which I want to say is HIYA. I'm just going to say it's HIYA. Oh, HIYA. Get it? HIYA Toys have revealed yet another exquisite mini 4-inch figure, and this time it's the Alley Viper. Now, this is one that I think was definitely on our bingo card in regards to classic classified designs, and they have gone full on exactly as you'd kind of expect, and I want to say followed the artwork to some degree here, because the artwork was ever so slightly different, wasn't it, than the actual figure. I really should have looked at the Alley Viper. Where is it? Where is you, Alley Viper? Because I can probably just grab one, Kitty said, and then have a look at it. Anyway, it's pretty cool looking. They definitely went more artwork based for the helmet, is all I'll say on this one, because that Bias says, isn't this design very close to what we saw in the back of the early classified boxes? There we go. That's kind of answered my question, because like I said, that helmet is pure artwork. Not like the Alley Viper helmet we actually got, I don't think, because there was a little bit of a design sort of discrepancy between a lot of those early figures and the artwork that was on the box. I remember like lots of art, like deco differences, which we've discussed when talking about HIYA Toys in the past, with Beachhead being one that had slightly different deco. They all pretty much did, to be fair. But Gung Ho was another one. He had the kind of, the updated look, but he had the kind of classic deco on the box art. And then the one that we got was like this kind of greenish, kind of subdued, very different deco entirely. It's a bit Wolverine's mask, Scott Skeen. Yes, absolutely. Destro Design says, Alley Viper is tops of my all-time list, so I'm loving this. Luke says Wildlife Enforcement Canada. Interesting. Not mask. Carlos says HIYA figures look great as long as there's no human face, and that's actually not a bad shout, honestly. Joe says that Alley Viper is mental. It looks so good, and the shield looks phenomenal. Says Destro as well. Yeah, I agree with a lot of those comments. I think the shield does look amazing. I think this figure looks actually superb. And if you are a 4-inch fan, Kitty said, then you're probably going to be quite happy with this particular figure. Deco is really good as well. Like a lot of wear and wash and all that kind of stuff on especially on the shield. There's a lot of kind of, it looks worn and it looks a little bit used. When the figures usually come out though, I always find the decos look a little bit cleaner. They don't have like the washes applied and that kind of stuff. And they do kind of state that in some of the messaging, like, you know, figures aren't like the final look. They could yeah, it says on the side there it says prototype shown, final product may be different. So that's how they get around that. But I find myself loving the promo images because of the deco. And then when the figure actually finally comes out, I'm always a little bit kind of not disappointed. Well, in some cases I was disappointed. Flint, my goodness, what happened there? That wasn't even deco. That was just the weirdest head sculpt ever. But that aside, this figure looks great, and the promo images look phenomenal. Comes with a lot of gear, as does, you know, as you'd expect with the Alley Viper, and really does rock that design really well. And again, that helmet is really cool, and it kind of doesn't. It's weird, like, because it's a bit of a departure, not a massive departure, but it is so kind of like curvy and swoopy and very like pointy. Then you got that kind of like that single bat eye in the middle as well, which, like, Battle Android Trooper, I mean, not like a flying bat, but you know what I mean. That it kind of doesn't necessarily hit me as Alley Viper, but the deco obviously brings you there. Do you know what I mean? It kind of takes you there. Killer says Alley Viper more like orange suit Wolverine. There's a lot of Wolverine vibes on this one for sure, but it's not a bad thing. Wolverine's a cool design, I think, personally. And yeah, very into this, loving the images. Here's another one on the Dio before we move into the kind of white background, white or grey background shots. Is it me, or do they all have like a dark strip on the bottom of these images? I don't know what that's from. I don't know. I think that's from where I've put them into this slideshow. I don't think that's actually on the original images. I might be wrong. Oh no, it is. It is. Oh, I see. It's like a black strip to highlight all the text on the bottom. That makes sense. So they've kind of put like a drop shadow sort of thing in there, but like a bar. And I thought that had just been an error in transferring the images, but no, it's all good. The eye looks like an infected pus bubble, says Killer King. Now I've vomited in my mouth. Almost a Wolverine look with those horns, says Jeremy. Yeah, definitely got some Wolverine vibes. Those of you who collect HIYA Joes, where do you purchase them in the US? Asked Jamie Lynn. I think Small Joe's is one of the best places for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think smalljoes.com. They, in fact, posted I want to say an email today about figures they just got in from HIYA Toys, including like 4 or 5 G.I. Joe figures, all like kind of, you know, fairly recent ones. So yeah, smalljoes.com, Jamie Lynn, is probably the best option. Okay, so HIYA really smashing it with this Alley Viper. Again, do you know what? When these particular shots really give off a Warhammer vibe to me, sort of like a painted sort of mini, like Space Marine or something. I think it's it's probably the colors, the washes and the highlights and all that kind of stuff, and then the fact that it's on like a stark background where they would sometimes show you like painted minis in, like, was it White Dwarf, the magazine? God, I used to love that. I've got so many White Dwarf magazines at home from my childhood. I used to love magazines. Jason says looks kind of Sauron-esque. No, yeah, there's definitely like an ever-watching eye over the entire Shire going on here. Josh says I like the helmet. Kitty said I do too, Josh, and the one that this Alley Viper's rocking. No, it's cool, very cool. Yeah, liking it. Not much more to really add here, other than this is a rad version of the Alley Viper. And the first time I've noticed it, his shoulder gut-like armor are slightly different on both sides. I'll have to look at that again. One's like, what is like a head of some description. It is, isn't it? It's like a snake head or something, isn't it? I did not notice that until I looked at that last image. Shows you how much studying I've done of these images today. That's crazy cool. Is it like it is? It's like a snake head or something. Yeah, it's a snake head. That's wicked. Is that on the original classified artwork Alley Viper? I'm gonna have to look at that because I'm sure they're infusing their own little kind of touches. I mean, they did with the Viper and, well, more so the Trooper, right? But they definitely have infused their own sort of design here, there, and everywhere. Flint is another one, Tiger Force Flint. That is not a known Tiger Force sort of deco. So, yeah, interesting. Mark P587 says, "Hey Chris, I'm late. How does the chat? Hope everyone it's great. Wow, they're starting to look better than the classified figures. Very nice. I wouldn't go that far, but actually, to be honest, this is a really cool version of the Alley Viper. If we'd have gotten this in classified, I don't think many people would have been upset, and also it would have just pushed everyone to be like, can we get a retro Alley Viper now? You know, like more, you know, like the original Alley Viper. Whereas at the time, I believe they deviated from that original classified artwork sort of design and went a little bit more, you know, vintage with it. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Real Zim says, I do like this version. Scott says, I think the classified Alley Viper integrated the snakehead in the visor somewhere, nowhere else. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right on that one. It's got a bit of a snake head mask, hasn't it? Anyway, and here, just for, you know, posterity's sake and to get a bit more information, you can see it's 4.1 inches tall. You've got the dio base that connects to all the other dio bases and the little H segments that connect those dio bases together. You've got slightly different weapons than the ones that we know the Alley Viper for. You've got sort of like a weird futuristic shotgun, kind of with the kind of like round sort of magazine, and then you've got like a smaller laser blaster, which kind of looks like maybe they could have come with something like that, but they didn't. They had that classic one, didn't they, with the magazine that kind of gets in the way trying to hold it. Yeah, that was interesting design choice, but one that they kind of wanted to do so it resembled the original weapon, but then didn't really take that into consideration on how the bloody thing is held. Beautiful figure, much nicer, says Kai Trucking 67. He also comes, of course, with a little dagger, a pistol, alternate hands or extra hands. I think they're fists, the default ones, aren't they? And then he's got the trigger finger, so he's got two different types of hands this time, as opposed to just the same hands. They are a bit gung-ho weapons, Scott. Yeah, for sure. And of course, that beautiful shield, which we only see the exterior, the outside. No, we do see the interior ever so slightly. I just don't remember it, and that's why, because it's only that shot. But you can see it's very much like the classified one with the little strip that goes across, like, you know, so they can actually see through the shield. Because obviously, and it's got a little eye slot as well, just above that screen. So you've got like a little readout as well, which is really cool. Anyway. Yeah, classified gung ho is, yeah, I get what you're saying, Scott. Very, very classified gung ho in terms of the weapon loadout for sure. But there you go. That is HIYA Toys Alley Viper. I think a very good addition to the HIYA Toys lineup. And guess what? I haven't added to the big HIYA Toys graphic because it takes ages to do. And also, we're at the point now where everyone is so tiny that the slivers of like images I can use are getting a bit ridiculous now. It's like looking through a blooming barcode. So anyway, that's your Alley Viper. That's HIYA Toys. I'll talk a little bit more about this maybe, and probably add that graphic on this, on the weekly. So we've got a little bit more to talk about. And I'll probably get some comparison shots on Saturday of that original box art, just so we can get a bit depthier with it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, next up, we have Super 7 news. Right then, so we've been waiting for this for a little while. Well, I say a little while, not that long actually. So a couple of weeks back, a distributor list crept out that featured the following information, which was Arctic Scarlet, Red Glow Arctic Snake Eyes, Movie Cobra Commander, and Arctic Mara. Well, guess what? There was just that, with that slight Arctic typo, everything was pretty much spot on there, wasn't it? absolutely nailed on, spot on. And what's interesting is I talked about this as well before they pushed this drop out. Kitty said, when the Snake Eyes image was revealed, the glow in the dark kind of red glow Snake Eyes artwork and everything, I was kind of thinking it's really interesting. They do a wave with one glow in the dark figure and then three sort of not regular, but non-features like that sort of figures. But it's not really, because have we had stuff like this? I mean, Zartan changes color, but has one of his single figures done that? I can't tell. Anyway, by the by, it was interesting because, like in the past, like we've had Glow Patrol, where a whole wave of figures have been glow in the dark. 2 waves, in actual fact, Joe and Cobra, but that was more like they weren't waves as much as they were exclusives that kind of just were available after the fact. So it was one of those things where I think a lot of people took that distributor list and didn't quite fully commit to it being like legitimate. But like as I said at the time, it's really rare that those things aren't spot on, or like it's kind of rare when that information comes out that it's going to be wrong. And with that, in this particular case, there was definitely fire where there was smoke in this one. And of course, we got a movie Cobra Commander, we got a Sunbow Mara, which is really cool, by the way. Obviously the glow in the dark Snake Eyes, and a really interesting mass device Arctic Scarlet, which is kind of expected, and then there are elements that are unexpected here as well. So let's get into it. So starting with Snake Eyes, because he was the first one to kind of like really get revealed, and also this kind of clears up the whole Serpentor Python Patrol Target exclusive chase figure. It's not a chase, you know what I mean? It's an exclusive, but it kind of falls within a wave usually, doesn't it? Like Duke Tiger Force, he was in the previous wave, and like I was surprised when that list broke, because I thought, I figured we were like a little bit further, like it would be further on before we got more reaction figures, reaction plus ones. So I was kind of in a boat of like, well, we're not going to find out for months, and maybe it might even be January when they finally drop, or February or something. This might just be like for Joe Day. Nope, right now. So Serpentor comes out, sneaks out. That wasn't a leak. That was just out, ready. Let's do it. And then this wave sort of follows suit. And usually it's the other way around. You usually get the wave come out, and then you start seeing the Target exclusive showing up. But I guess could be anything. Could be any sort of distribution issue or what have you. In any case, it just doesn't matter at the end of the day. We still get what we want with the figures being out, and now we can kind of check off that distributor list as correct and move on. So yes, Snake Eyes, red glow in the dark. Love the artwork. Again, a kind of update of the Jason Edmiston Snake Eyes artwork for that particular type of figure, that style of design from I think Reaction, regular Reaction. I know we didn't get this particular light up Reaction Snake Eyes, glow in the dark, Snake Eyes on a single card, but we have had Snake Eyes figures. So yeah, it's just a kind of like an update, slight change of that kind of version 1 figure, basically. And I like it. I love the call out, the red glow call out. That's really fun. And again, like, new artwork to a degree, or at least new decoed artwork with the file card as well. And the cross cell's grown, which is nice. I'm also going to have a little chat when we get to certain figures as to some of the choices that have been made in these lines. It's quite interesting. It seems that they go very safe and very, very deep cut in the same wave to sort of like protect themselves a little bit. But let's check the rest out. So obviously Snake Eyes comes with his little radioactive canister and the pistol. I don't know how he holds the canister. Has anyone seen that information or seen that any images? And there will be other promo images, and Super 7 usually post an email burst that will have a promo image of the figures in like a diorama setting. So maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll just be like a little groove in the thing that you can stick your fingers in, kind of thing, Kitty said. We'll have to see. Or it'll just be one of those things I have to just hold in a weird way, like Cobra Commander's Spore, Pythona's gem of that size, etc., etc. Will this wave be in stores or online only? It'll be in stores, Carlos. Be in stores, mate. Have no fear. They all end up in stores. The Serpentor is the only Target exclusive. Okay, so these are they're on their website now, but they'll be in store as well. They might be in store now. Go have a look. Chucky Tinderbin says next wave: Glow Patrol, Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Duke, and Bats. Glow Patrol, as in the Glow Patrol version of Snake Eyes. It was like a weird blue, no, green. It's green, wasn't it? And it'll be. Are you talking Glow Patrol? All those figures. That makes sense. So Cobra Commander in the blue, Duke in the green, Bats in the blue. Could do. I don't think it'll be I don't think it'll be a full wave. I think they'll sneak them out. They'll sneak different, ones like that out into different waves. With the Hydro Viper on the way, we definitely need their forerunner with Mara. Good shout, Scott, because she is an experiment technically. And anyway, also they showed this image. So this is what he will look like glow in the dark, which is rad, isn't it? That's so awesome. I don't even think the Reaction regular glowed that kind of intense in red, but I do like it. And the canister glow in red as well is pretty dope. The pistol's gone missing because it's not glow in the dark, but he's actually on that image. I can see it. If you like his gloves and the pistol and his everything, yeah, it's still on there. Hilarious. Anyway, that's Snake Eyes. Very fun, very interesting, cool, effect there on the old red glow. Love it. And here is a little side-by-side comparison as well that I forgot that I'd done and then was surprised when I clicked on it and I'd done that. So there you go. Little side-by-side comparison. Nice. You can see all the different parts. You can see technically the plastic that's glowing. Obviously, it's that kind of really light bluish color on the actual figure that lights up. Right then, lovely stuff. And then we have Mara. Now, this is I find this one really interesting, really cool. Love deep cuts. Kitty said, I kind of love what they've done with this one as well. So Mara is a bit of it's a one and done episode scenario, right? So it's not like a recurring character or a character that's really got like a huge sort of like background and storyline with Joe, but it seems to have captured this character. Mara has captured the hearts of a big section of the fandom. Still a deep cut, but the amount of people and comments I've seen for Mara, now they may be fair enough, might be the same 5 people every single time, but Kai Trucking is saying need classified Mara. Not the only person that said that as well. So I would say that she's kind of broken that. She's one of those interesting characters, I would say, because again, not a lot to work with, but has built up a bit of a following. And here she is. The figure has that really interesting kind of color skin tone, like that kind of purple. The Cobra sort of like onesie, the wetsuit, and that kind of dome breathing apparatus as well, which is really cool too. Excuse me. And we get a brand new freaking file card, which I haven't zoomed in on, but guess what? I'll be doing that on Saturday, and we'll be going into more depth with Mara for sure. Scott says there's no place like Springfield is a hell of a couple of episodes. It is. It really is. It's impactful in many ways. It seems to be that like it's like 2 types of fans, isn't it? It's like the ones that think Worlds Without End is the pinnacle, which is me, and then the ones that think There's No Place Like Springfield is like a just as powerful sort of kind of like Sunbow sort of 2-parter. And it's the 2-parters that seems to have that kind of really big impact in the Sunbow series. And those episodes, when they get a little bit more serious, a bit more adult, a little bit more kind of like higher stakes, seems to be when Sunbow really does really well with the fans. And then you have the really quirky, silly episodes, and then you have the sort of like in between sort of like silly, but like, more far-fetched than silly. Scott says both of those 2-parters are on the Mount Rushmore for sure. Is this the first figure of Mara Jason Keane? I believe so. I don't think any officially anyway. Obviously not counting customs, but yes, this is almost certainly the first Mara figure we've ever had. Cobra Claws are coming to town as peak giant poly absolute cinema, says Jeremy Kimberlin. Exactly, a very silly episode, but still, fun. The Germ is a bit ridiculous as well, but I mean, there's so many ridiculous episodes. The Viper is coming. I mean, come on, crazy pants. But when they get serious, when it gets a high stakes, obviously the movie's really good in my opinion. Arise to Pencil Arrive is a 5-parter, but is a phenomenal kind of like feature length when you put them all together, sort of Sunbow kind of example. But anyway, Mara, brilliant, love it, really cool. And like I said, we'll be delving deep into the, pun intended, not in both ways, I just meant like deep underwater, Kitty said, with that Mara file card on Saturday. Yes, Scott, where is our classified airtight? Indeed. Now, here's the figure up close. Again, really like what they've done here. Pretty standard, easy kind of like figure, really, at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't, other than the backpack headpiece, which looks to be a backpack plug as well to keep it really secure. Or that hose is like squidgy. I imagine that the hose is squidgy and it's a backpack and helmet that go. I don't think like they're connected by the hose, but the hose is probably one of those little like plasticky bendy ones, I'd imagine. If not, it could be a backpack helmet kind of combo where it kind of goes on and locks into the back as well. But I doubt that. That would be kind of weird. So I think it is just a helmet, dome, and backpack secondary, sort of like separate. Anyway, really cool. And again, for the Mara fans, you've got a Mara, guys. No more asking for Mara. Oh, well, at least in the Super 7 lineup anyway. And then, of course, we have Cobra Commander. Now, this is another interesting one because they only show renders at this stage. So we don't know until like tomorrow when people buy them, because that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Like these images come through thick and fast once these go up. And I do believe these have been sent to me. Shout out to Super 7 for being awesome. I obviously there must have been a discrepancy with the last set, but this set is coming my way. I haven't said anything, I haven't done anything, I haven't like kicked off or anything. But I believe I'll be getting this set coming through. So first off, thank you very much, Super 7. I appreciate it very much. I will do an unboxing, and I will be excited to see what they've done with, especially with this figure, Cobra Commander. Now, this is a movie cape and kind of like little staff scepter Cobra Commander, right? The classic kind of Cobra Commander that we all know from the movie. The question is, what are we dealing with in this cape? Now, I assume it's vinyl, like red on one side, black on the other, in the same way that we've had Pythona and some of the other kind of like vinyl capes. And then the question came up, well, how is it connected to the Cobra Commander figure? Because it looks like that classic Cobra Commander figure that we've already got in lots of different ways. And I was thinking when I zoomed in on the shoulder pieces, it does look like the Cobra logos might be pinching whatever soft good that is onto the figure. Now, I'm assuming it's vinyl because they've done vinyl already, and vinyl seems to be like the go-to cape for that sort of copying of the vintage era, right? I could also do a little bit more research on this and actually see if it states if it's a vinyl cape. That is something I didn't do, and I apologize for not doing my due diligence. Here we go. It just says movie black cape on here, but let's have a look to see if we've got any more information in the description. Slither toward the Cobra lair, if you dare. Cobra has high expectations when it comes to ruling the world. This reaction plus figure of Cobra, inspired by his appearance at the opening of the G.I. Joe movie 1987, is 375 scale, 12 points of articulation, fashioned in vintage O-ring style. This action figure is capable of a soft goods cape. That does not help me. That does not help me. Soft goods, though, is not vinyl, is it? Right? Are we clear on that? I'm pretty sure we are. So it's actually probably more like a Serpentor cape then, in that sense, because Serpentor was out when the movie came out. So at that stage, if this figure was being done in the vintage era, they could have done a soft goods cape. So yeah, maybe not vinyl at all. Maybe this is an actual soft goods scenario, which is really cool to think about. Now, the other kind of question was, how is it connected to the figure? Is it clipped on by those like little logos at the top? Is it kind of like, are they like little pop in like attachments, or does the cape kind of get pinched between the two halves of the O-ring body, like the chest and the back? When those two pieces come together, if you know O-rings, you know what I'm talking about. When you open one up, that's how they split in half. Is it kind of tucked in there, and then these are like fake out cape elements on that? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out. I guess it's going to be interesting to see when the figures start kind of showing up and the images start showing up. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see that, which I don't know, kind of says a lot about how sad I am in general. Like that needs any more, highlighting. But anyway, interested to see that one, and the kind of engineering of the cape and what cape kind of style it will be. The fact it says soft goods on there makes me think it's not vinyl, because they would say vinyl cape, and I don't think vinyl is counted as soft goods. That is actually, what would you say? You might disagree with me, which is totally fine. You can do that all day long, and most people tend to do so as well. Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway, Cobra Commander movie, lovely stuff. And finally, and one I will say is probably one of the most interesting of all of them, just based on the kind of where they went with it, is like, so we had a kind of 50-50 here, and the image I chose was Scarlet in the movie, not Scarlet in the Master Device. And I should have thought it made sense, if they're doing Red Glow Snake Eyes, that Arctic Scarlet would be the Master Device Scarlet, right? And she does have the grey jacket with the fur, the boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. And what I'm really interested though in is the fact they went with instead of the scarlet, just a random scarlet head, right? As in one they may already have. Have we had scarlet yet? But like a normal scarlet, with the hair out and all that kind of jazz, which she does show in that particular episode with the jacket and the hair out. She's, taking the hood off and the goggles come off and everything. The fact they've gone with this particular version, I find really cool, and kind of annoying that it's good that she doesn't suffer the same grundle issue that Arctic Cobra Commander, Arctic Snake Eyes have when it comes with the longer jacket. Now, they've obviously given her like a little kind of skirt piece for the jacket to make it a little bit longer. So I don't know. I'm really, happy they went in a direction that wasn't an expected one. And two, I think the execution's really good too. I really like it. And the art's really nice in these as well. Like, I liked the Mara artwork. I like the Arctic Scarlet artwork as well. I think they're really nice. There's a little like almost like cartoony look to the face on both of them, actually, where you kind of feel like they're kind of very much pushing towards that kind of Sunbow vibe, whereas vintage figures wouldn't really do that. Like, it was very much, the artwork was done very stylized to specifically, like Garrido would do kind of the painterly, Norum would get into like kind of very, very like specific kind of like details and like real, like almost like overtly detailed with like certain facial kind of structures and like the lines and the it's just very like, when you kind of look at all that artwork. Shout out to 3D Joes and Carson, as I look at the giant book of art to my left hand side, which I'm just scared to pick up because it's so bloody heavy. Arctic Scarlet artwork, easy for me to say, Scott, it is, isn't it? But I think, like, I like what they've done here. I do really like the artwork on Arctic Scarlet too. I think it's really cool. But again, they've definitely gone very cartoony with the face. Now, her accessory, Christy, I believe, is a Geiger counter, right? I think it's a Geiger counter from my recollection. Let's have a look. It'll say, I would imagine, it'll just say weird. Let's have a look. Yeah, because it's detecting radioactive crystals. Yeah, it's a Geiger counter. It's a Geiger counter. Yeah, I thought it was. She comes with a Geiger counter. Bosh. There you go. And that obviously detects radioactive energy, which is what they're doing in the first place on that in the mass device. Jeremy says those legs are a pre-paint for Scarlet with purple leotard from Deke Guaranteed, says Jeremy. Interesting shout there, because obviously she would be from the Sunbow series in this particular case. So that is an interesting kind of call out there. Scott says, I mean, Mass Snake Eyes and Movie Coco could have gone either way. Snake Eyes and Movie Coco could have gone either way. Oh, you mean with the skirt piece? Yeah, definitely. Wilfredo says, just noticed that you're online. It sucks when I don't get notifications. You weren't the only one, Wilfredo. I think it was a general error on today's burst, because when I went live, there was nobody watching for like a few minutes, and I thought, oh, no, everyone hates me. And then a load of people turned up and started kind of making comments. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I wasn't on my own. Scott says it's the device Venkman uses in Dana's apartment in Ghostbusters, which I believe isn't that like a fashioned Geiger counter, Scott? I'm pretty sure it is, that they kind of like fashion into he's kind of pretending it's like it's that wand, hasn't he? Oh my god, that's so funny. That is so funny. It actually does look a little bit like that. Anyway, Arctic Scarlet, really like what they've done here, because it's not going the same direction that I thought they were going to go in. What I can see them doing though is reusing this entire body, putting a scarlet head on top, hair out and everything, redeco movie Arctic Scarlet. If that doesn't happen, I'll eat my hat. I won't do that because I've got about 500 hats. And I'll just like not eat my hat until they end up doing it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Anyway, that's that. I believe, yes, that is not everything, but we've got the cross sell now, which has grown ridiculously. But there you go. It's looking like quite the lineup already now. And considering this only really kicked off at the end of last year, and we're already here, quite impressive, isn't it? Really, in terms of amounts of figures that we've got, especially considering the complexity of O-ring figures. And then not shown on here are all the Target exclusives, the multiple Zartan redecos. What else? There's more, right? I'm just not thinking off the top of my head. There's a few more things, but like, yeah, the Python Patrol and the kind of Tiger Force and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Scott says redeco the jacket for Jay. Yeah, absolutely. Chris G says edible hats for Patreon members confirmed, of course. Right, anyway, that is Super 7. One last story to get stuck into today, and like I said, I will be going into a bit more detail on Saturday with regards to the file cards that are new on these Super 7 figures, and who knows, I might even have them in hand to talk about as well. So maybe we could it'll be like a little bit of an interesting sort of look at what my expectations were based on what actually reality was at the end of the day. So anyway, let's talk classified next. Yeah, but before we do, message from our sponsor. Yes, the deluxe Treasury editions of the Battle Action Force comics. Go get them. They are amazing. TotalToyBooks.com and Skeletron.com, depending on where in the world you are located, Carmen Sandiego. Right, now, classified. Let's talk classified. Now, this is really interesting because I got a message in the day. Massive shout out to whoever that was, who the name escapes me now because it's been like 5 minutes since I've had to think about it. Bear with me. Who messaged me about this? I've had so many messages today. And yeah, my apologies. I've completely forgotten who it was. If you're in the comments at the moment, feel free to scathe me. Somebody messaged me anyway. Maybe it was in an Instagram. Maybe it was an Instagram message. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes, it was. Snake Eyes, 8181. There we go. Sorry, that took me ages to just find out who sent me the information. Yes, massive shout out to Snake Eyes 8181 for messaging me earlier today to say, hey, don't know if you're aware of this, but Big Bad Toy Store have Dio images for that wave of figures that just didn't seem to have Dio images, bar Sci-Fi. So Sci-Fi even shows up in some of the Dio images of Mainframe. So obviously he has the same sort. He has images somewhere, and then yeah. So it was a bit of a shock, but I was like, well, we're definitely talking about this. Definitely putting these out here because these are gorgeous. And again, the Grim Viper, which I believe 2 are on the way to me as we speak, which I'm excited about, very much so, because this was the character that we were allowed, we were given the permission, we were told, we were instructed to reveal this for the first time as a render. If you weren't aware of this, we got the official reveal of this particular figure, Grim Viper, and I could not be more happy about that. Like, that blew my mind. And of course, you know, to be up there with, you know, like with the other people that were involved in revealing renders as well that week, Adventures in Collecting, Dan Larson, Entertainment Earth, and there was one more, wasn't there? Was it, who else did it? Or have I said everybody? I think that was everybody, wasn't it? I know it was Toy Galaxy Dan, Adventures in Collecting, ourselves, and then Entertainment Earth. There might have been one other, maybe Big Bad Toy Store. Anyway, amazing stuff. So really, really excited to do that. And yeah, so this figure holds a very, very special place in my heart. And my God, does he look bloody awesome in this diorama, which is straight out of Predator. It's so good. Oh yeah, BBTS, yeah. So it's so good, like, it's so amazing, this Dio. And like I said, just screams Predator. And I think like the minigun has a lot to do with that. The fact that the Range Viper is so intimidating, with that head sculpt. So the Grim Viper kind of works really well, I think, in this setting. And of course, like Range Vipers are like wilderness troopers. So a Grim Viper is like a head. I'm not sure if they're related to Range Vipers necessarily, or they just share the same helmet, Kitty said. But I suppose you could be like a heavy weapons version of a wilderness trooper. Either way, I don't want to overthink it. It's just an amazing looking figure in this kind of this kind of styling and this deco. And my God, these images look just freaking awesome. How many snake armors can you see in the background? I have looked to see if there are any sort of homages or anything that might be like a clue to something else, and I haven't noticed anything yet. If you guys do notice anything, please let me know. Yes, Skeletron figures are shipping as well, Scott, indeed. Did I see the Shark Eyes review of Lifeline and Hit and Run? I did, yes. I did, Venom. I posted images of Adam sends me those images when he posts his reviews so that we can share them. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, Adam. I really like Shark Eyes review, Shark Eyed Toy View on YouTube, Shark Eyes Pics on Instagram. There needs to be a combining of the marketing rollout there for the names, but love what Adam does. And yeah, we've posted those images and he does great reviews as well. Grim Viper looks awesome here, says Jeremy. Scott says this Grim Viper shot is very, if it bleeds, we can kill it. It is. I intend to have you auto IG Bat and Grim V, Chris, when we meet at some point. Oh, autograph the IG Bat and the Grim Viper. Stanley, that would be hilarious. What, as if like because I unfortuitously accidentally revealed the Iron Grenadier's Bat was coming and then officially was allowed to reveal that the Grim Viper was coming. That is the best thing I think I could ever be associated with to autograph anything. So yes, Stanley, absolutely. If you ever want those done, like, and we meet in person, then 100% I'll do that. Jeremy Kimblin says, I plan to use Grim Viper as a unique Range Viper like body bag. Yep, big time. Jesse the Grim Viper Ventura, says Scott. Perfect. Exactly why, says Stanley. Of course, yeah, absolutely. I love it. Anyway, these shots are phenomenal. Oh, well, did I? No, I confirmed the Arctic Bat, Jeremy, and technically Emily confirmed the Arctic Bat when she was on the show with me. So I didn't reveal that one, but we do take ownership of it, of the confirmation that it was actually a real thing, because it was out and we were talking about it, and then I asked her the question in the episode and she confirmed it. So we were able to confirm that an Arctic Bat was actually happening. It wasn't just custom set dressing, which, I mean, like, why would it be? But I'll take that, Jeremy. I'll take Arctic Bat as well as a reveal. Jason says Grim Viper and Shadow Tracker could be complementary brothers in arms. Agreed. I think that's starting to build out a cool Range Viper display with, I would say, multiple Range Vipers, but I think most people only ever manage to get one of them. But a Range Viper and some Grim Vipers and Shadow Tracker, what a cool display that would be. And that would be so cool, wouldn't it? In like I would do like a Junglist Massive kind of display, and maybe have like Outback hiding from them. That'd be so dope. What an amazing like lineup that you could have just with the Jungle Viper, the Grim Viper, the Jungle Viper confirmed, by the way, the Grim Viper, the Range Viper, and Shadow Tracker. That'd be freaking amazing. The more I see the Grim Viper, the more I love it. I got 2 on the way. Same, Destro. Absolutely same with you on that one. Better late than never, but I believe you covered everything already. So Same Time Toys. Yes, maybe. And then, of course, we have these shots as well, kind of like a group shot of them just mowing down the jungle and explosions behind them. And then that beautiful one there with him pulling the knife out the back of his pants, holding the minigun, backpack on show, explosion in the background. It's the background, but he's facing it. So technically it's not his background. I was only joking about Jungle Viper. It's just because they were in a jungle and I was saying Grim Viper. Just to be clear, I haven't accidentally revealed Jungle Viper. Need an ambush to hide from them. Yes, Scott, that would be amazing as well. There you go. There's Grimothy Viper. Grimothy is his full name. Then we also have Mainframe. So Mainframe looks to be on the same diorama, kind of like a little side street of the Dark Energon, Big Lob, Lifeline. Who else is in that wave? Hit and Run, Lifeline, Big Lob, Mole Rat Stage 2, and the Viper thing, the Night Viper. My goodness. Anyway, yeah, so it looks to be in the same sort of diorama environment narrative as that whole Dark Energon sort of situation with the Stage 2 Mole Rats. And pretty cool. And again, he's just running around, different versions of himself, putting different hats on every now and again whenever he stops to do something communications-y. Yeah, I'm crap at telling stories when it comes to this stuff, but I think he looks really good. Mainframe. I know a lot of people have an issue with his height. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things. I'll have to see it when I see it in hand, but I really don't see that being a problem for me. I think Mainframe is really, really cool, and I think like all the gear he comes with as well is proper rad. So I think it kind of like it doesn't really cause many issues for myself in that regard. I do notice a lot of the shots though are taken in such a way to make him not look short. Have you noticed that? So Sci-Fi in the background there of the one on the left, and also in the background of the one on the right as well. So Sci-Fi definitely has promo images, just haven't found them anywhere. I wonder if they're on Entertainment Earth. Should we have a look at that? This could be like on the job research. Oh God, it'd be nice if I could spell entertainment. There we go. And I just want to see if they have any images for any of these guys. Sci-Fi does not look like it. No, just the 6 images that they always have had. I should also really check Hasbro Pulse, because maybe they've updated their images, because they do that quite often. They sneakily do that. And then lo and behold, they're all there all of a sudden. And if that's the case, then we'll have even more to talk about. No, still the same ones. Isn't that weird that BBTS have them and nowhere else does? Isn't Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? What we're saying here, did they have a quota for short Joes? What happened to mainframe? I just, maybe they want to reuse Tunnel Rat's body, you know, or legs in this case. Jeremy says, despite his short stature, mainframe is my favorite in the wave. Interesting. Stanley says, Amazon BF deals start tomorrow. Any leaked price cuts yet? Not that I'm aware of, Stanley, no. Jason Keane says, Red Shadow Nightmare would be a lovely addition to the growing Cobra Jungle specialists. Oh, Jason, yes, abso-bloody-lutely. Venom says, mainframe looks very similar to a certain YouTuber. Does he? I don't know which one you're referring to. I genuinely don't. We'll have to. I'll just play dumb on that one, unless you say something in the comments. Scott says you're making typos in our speech now. Yes, I am. Sorry. In any case, love the gear and these promo images of mainframe as well, and we get a really good shot of that like little device, that little tablet he's got on his wrist with all the little O's and zeros and ones on it. Very cool. Very, very cool. And oh yeah, that little sat phone, is it like a little GPS? That's really dope as well. Man, he comes with so much stuff. Even the laptop's got rad stuff on it as well. Like it's too much cool stuff going on mainframe. It's well good. And then of course the lovely wetsuit as well to finish us off. Kitty said, yeah, beautiful shots again. I think this is a similar, or if not the same sort of Dio setup they did for the divers. But they've definitely made, or whoever did them, I'm assuming it's going to be Shooting the Galaxy, and Corey and Matt basically of Hasbro. But the divers had a very similar sort of like, you know, fauna and underwater. They had the tubes in the background, like those worms come out of, and we'll see that in some of the other shots as well. But they've definitely gone even more hardcore with the sheen on the lens for this one to make it very much look like he's underwater. But wetsuit, I think wetsuit might be the perfect classified figure. I genuinely think he might be the perfect classified figure. Just in terms of like the gear he comes with, the design, the look of the figure, I've had it in hand as well. I've seen this one in person, and it's just one of those things where I looked at it, I'm like, this is the most perfect thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, just so much cool stuff about this particular figure. And it just, I mean, I don't know, the deco's on point, the accessories are just absolutely superb. What an update on the little motorized underwater vehicle, and the halogen lamp thing with the loop on it and everything. The backpack, it's perfect, absolutely sodding perfect. And the fact that clips to the backpack to create like a cool like extra thing and storage, you know, just everything that makes classified and action figures fun, the being able to store everything on the figure, and yeah, it just absolutely superb. No, we're doing special end of year episodes, as we always do. We're doing a we're doing a holiday special, and we're doing a New Year's Eve special, New Year's Day special. So we're going to be doing the same kind of thing that we usually do, where we kind of do our kind of top things of the year, G.I. Joe. I'd be very surprised if wetsuit doesn't make an appearance on my list, is all I'm saying. And then the New Year's Day special will be about looking forward to what's to come. So yeah, just the usual stuff basically that we always do. I don't like to change things up too much because I'm not that creative. Lies. Anyway, brilliant, awesome. Love these images for the classified promo images that kind of seem to get lost. They seem to just disappear, didn't they? Or they took them recently, and they're maybe about to go out to all of, you know, to Hasbro Pulse. You know, they're going to post them on Pulse, post them somewhere else. Who knows? But BBTS may have just jumped the gun. Is all I can think about as to why they got them and no one else did. Anyway, and that's a great shot as well of him on the deck with all the stuff out, and the fact that you can hook the little halogen lamp on. I'm guessing that's just his pistol. He's hooked it on, but again, like nice little fun options as well. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, anyway, that's everything, I believe. I'm not going to do the usual. Nah, let's save that. We'll save the listings chat because nothing's changed. We'll save that for the weekly on Saturday. One last thing I want to just shout out though is the awesome Jeremy Kimberlin for hooking me up with this. Yes, this is the VE01A, the Air Tiger. Now it's in that kind of, it's in the Fans Hobby kind of regular Air Eagle box, but then they've got this little kind of special like little booklet thing on the front, which is, you know, the kind of what they did to kind of differentiate it. So I am excited to bust this bad boy open and add to my Tiger Force crew. But yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy. Wanted to shout you out for that, mate. Thank you for hooking me up, and yeah, cannot wait to get that bad boy out. Chris G says, I did not realize helmet comes off on wetsuit. Yeah, dude, like I'm saying, this is one of the pinnacle figures. It's like simple but effective. It's a lot of accessories, but not too many. You know, it's a decent amount of accessories, but not too many. He's not like he's not drowning in them, or he's not swimming in them. Get it? And all of the accessories seem to have like really good functionality, like the pipes and the helmet. The helmet comes off. The backpack's really dope. The like I said, the little underwater vehicle's perfect. The little halogen lamp. He's got a little dagger. It's just brilliant. Again, no notes on wetsuit at all. Really excited to get this one properly in hand, as opposed to, you know, playing with someone else's, Kitty said. And that is pretty much it for today. Now, I will return, of course. Who knows? Maybe even there might be news tomorrow. There might be news Friday that I have to go live with. Alternatively, I'll see you on Saturday. And we'll also delve into comics news, of course. New comic book day today. Issue 14, go get it. And what else? We've got the longboards, which I need to talk about. Oh my god. So yeah, those longboards I need a conversation with you guys about, because that is like, it's up there with the snowboards, but even more mental. And why do I want both a snowboard and a longboard just because it's got G.I. Joe kind of things on? Anyway, we'll talk about that, won't we? We'll talk about that on the weekend. And yeah, I'm saving some stuff for you guys on Saturday. It's not just going to be me talking about the same stuff again. And of course, like I said, we'll have hopefully more images, more promo images. I'm going to do some digging on promo images for that Lost Wave, including Sci-Fi, which he must have them somewhere. And also there must be more of them. They don't just have 6 images a lot of the time. They have a lot more images than that usually. It's usually about like, I think all in all, you're looking at like 8 diorama shots plus the other shots like the packaging and all the other stuff usually. So there might be more to come from the other figures as well. But yeah, we'll talk about the file cards as well on the Super 7 figures, and who knows, I may even have them in hand by Saturday. Fingers well and truly crossed and inserted, Kitty said. What else? Is that everything? Oh yeah, I'm doing a giveaway as well for the special episodes. So just have that in mind. On those episodes, I'll be doing a special sort of like holiday giveaway for one lucky viewer. So we'll be doing that again. I haven't done that for a long time. And one of the reasons I didn't do it was because whenever someone won it, I would reach out to them and say, congratulations, you've won it. Here, you know, if you commented or whatever on the thing and you were following us, what have you. They never got back to me. Anyway, weird. Oh, Facebook has crashed again. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, well, I'm at the end now anyway, so it's fair. Guys, I'll see you either on Saturday or, of course, before that in the week if there's news. And patrons, I'll see you on Sunday, if not before, depending on, you know, what I can tell you. So I will see you on what it could, who knows, it could be anything, couldn't it? But let's see you on, let's just say Saturday and Sunday. See you then, guys. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.